Hi, welcome back to this channel, or just welcome. Last video I posted was about my reviews about certain books. It's like the new thing I was trying out, doing reviews, taking notes, and I said I was gonna be better at it this time, and I was not correct because I have lost some of those notes. What I know I am going to do now on is keep them in one place, this very nice journal I got. I think I'll insert a video because it's like super nice. But yeah, so the next one will be better. It's a work in progress. But for some of these reviews, I will have notes and certain quotes that I will refer to, but other ones it's kind of just gonna be what I can remember because it's been a while since I've read these books and I wasn't really good at like vlogging my reading experience and all that. I think I only did like one video. But without further ado, here are my reviews. Okay, so time for classic Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I honestly did really like this book. Didn't love it. I mean, I feel like I loved certain parts of it, but not the whole thing. Anyway, but this book made me love the movie. I had seen the movie like maybe 4 years ago or something, and I don't know, I didn't really take it in. I just remember being like, oh, that looks nice, looks pretty scenery, and I don't know why I was not taking it in. I don't know, maybe it was the way that they spoke and my little brain was too dumb for it or something. But reading this, I know in the beginning it was kind of hard for me to get into it, the way they speak, but then the more I read it, the more I started to like adapt to it and then fully understand it, and it became easy to read. I don't know if it's honestly that challenging for a lot of people. It might not be, it might just be me. But I did really love this. And this one, I have notes. I did not lose them. So I'll do my overall notes and I'll do some quotes. Yeah, so something that I do remember is that the mom, Elizabeth's mom, did get on my nerves at times. She seemed like very judgy of others and sometimes putting down Elizabeth just to bring her other daughter up, make her seem better. And it's like, you can talk nicely about her without, you know, talking bad about Elizabeth. But I do understand though, you know, the whole reason why the mother sometimes comes off as that, you know, it's just her trying to ensure that her daughters have a good future ahead of them, which would, in that time, would be with marriage, marrying a good family. And something that I absolutely loved, probably my favorite part about the book, was the letters exchanged between the characters. I really enjoyed reading those bits. It felt like something really personal and real, and yeah, that was my favorite part. It made me want to start writing letters. I even got myself a little wax seal with the letter B. It's beautiful. And like I said, that I didn't love the whole book, and the reason why is because there were certain parts in the book that I wasn't that interested, and I really kind of had to push myself through to get to it. I think until it wasn't like until the last 100 pages that I was like fully invested, like page turner type thing for me. It wasn't until Elizabeth recognized that she had feelings for Mr. Darcy when I was like, okay, cool. I like where this is going. I know one of my favorite parts is when Elizabeth visits his home and he's not there, and she hears all these good things about him that she hadn't heard before. She's like, what? Like, was I wrong all along? And yeah, I don't know, it was really enjoyable. So, well, if you want to know my rating, I put right here that I gave it a 4.2 out of 5 stars. And now for some quotes. Some quotes that I really liked. I wrote them down. Okay, so one of them was on page 43 of this copy. Okay. But people themselves alter so much that there is something new to be observed in them forever. So this is Elizabeth talking to Mr. Darcy when they talk about like studying people and stuff like that, and Darcy says few subjects would be available to study in the country, and Elizabeth says that well, there's people to observe and look at, and that you'll never really fully get to know a person. That's something that I found very interesting, because people are constantly changing, you know, taking up new information, and that's gonna affect them one way or another. So I thought that was really cool. Another thing, let me see. Yeah, okay. Oh, something that sparked like one of my little fears, something I already had, and like it reminded me of. So it's when Elizabeth's just talking about Sir Williams, which was one of the guys that she was interested in. So she becomes no longer interested in him. She says that he's already talked all his... Okay, so sorry about that. I got interrupted, but we're back. Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, Elizabeth was saying that she had already heard all his stories, everything he had to talk about, him being Sir Williams. So here's a quote. Elizabeth loved absurdities, but she had known Sir Williams too long. He could tell her nothing new of the wonders of his presentation and knighthood, and his civilities were worn out like his information. Seems kind of harsh. Anyway, the reason why this like stuck out to me was because of like my own fear of kind of the people I love getting tired of me or bored of me. It's just like my own little insecurities. But yeah, but I mean at the same time, like I said earlier, people are constantly changing. But I guess it's also the fear of maybe the person you're changing into is one that they are no longer gonna like. But at the same time, then I guess they're just not the people for you anymore, right? Anyway, I don't know if that's like a little bit off topic, but yeah, that's what that quote made me think of. Now let's see. Oh yeah, another thing I loved was when Elizabeth takes a trip with her aunt and uncle, and a quote that they say about like their travels. So here's a quote. I believe Elizabeth says it. She says, "Oh, what hours of transport we shall spend, and when we do return, it shall not be like other travelers, without being able to give one accurate idea of anything. We will know where we have gone, we will recollect what we have seen." I just really liked it because I feel like it really shows about just taking everything in of the trip that you're gonna go to. And I feel like it kind of goes with the same thing like I was talking about earlier in this video with my problem of not being able to express like my opinions on like a book that I just read or like a movie I just saw. Like I just don't know where to start or what to mention about it. And I don't know, I just really like that about the trip, that just being able to say everything that happened. It just seems nice. Yeah, look. Right here I put that she talks about how the sights they see will not become jumbled together in their minds. Like there's so many things that happen, I feel like. So many little details or moments within a trip or something that you experience, and you just, yeah, they all kind of like mesh, at least for me. They all mesh, and like I'm just like, I don't know how to fully describe it as it happened anymore. And yeah, I don't know. I just felt like that quote very much resonated with me. Yeah. And I also wrote when I had read this and I was taking notes, I put the sense of confusion and uncertainty when trying to recall situations and experiences within the trip. I have been other travelers, me. For many things in my life, but lately I have found myself wanting to savor and fully understand my experiences, feelings, and knowledge I aim to gain. I have faith that journaling can become a helpful tactic for me in remembering, understanding, and comfortably expressing myself. Honestly, I have not been journaling that much. That was like one of my New Year's resolutions. I did it for a little while, but I haven't done it that much. But I have been like journaling in a way with the books I've been reading, so hey. Progress. Let me see, is there anything else? Any other quotes? No, I think that might be all of it. Wait. Oh, I also wrote that Lady Catherine, one of the relatives of Mr. Darcy, was very brutal when she went to go visit Elizabeth and be like, you plan on marrying my nephew? Yeah, she was very disrespectful. I was like, oh, the drama. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, I put something else that I appreciate about Elizabeth is that she doesn't settle because of what others think or want. I feel like she also does have the benefit of her being like her dad's favorite and her dad letting her turn down Mr. Collins and, you know, kind of letting her do what she wants. So she was lucky in that aspect because I feel like probably other women, especially in that time, like they would have just been forced to, you know, marry off. So Elizabeth was lucky in that way. One thing that did get on my nerves about Elizabeth was that at times she did seem kind of like an I'm not like other girls type trope. And I remember one part that sticks out to me was when her sister Jane was engaged and in love, and so was Elizabeth. And she's like, "Oh, my sister smiles, but I laugh." And I was just like, why can't you both be happy, Elizabeth? You can both be in love. You could both laugh. But I did love the book, and like I said, the book made me love the movie because I feel like I understood the characters more. And I am very sure I will read this book again later point in my life. I know I'm keeping that copy for sure, and I'm definitely watching the movie again. I also read Pride and Prejudice and Zombies it says by Jane Austen and Seth Graham Smith. The reason why it says by Jane Austen is because they pulled a lot of the same material, they used a lot of the same text from the original, and I feel like for that reason, I read this right after reading Pride and Prejudice, and as I was saying, I read this right after reading Pride and Prejudice, and I feel like for that reason, I was getting bored. I wanted something more original or more fresh because I really did like the way that the author described the zombie scenes and the fight scenes. I was invested and I could totally visualize it, but I really would have liked it more if maybe we got it. It could still be Pride and Prejudice, but it could be through the perspective of somebody else. Maybe it could have been like through Mr. Darcy's perspective, or even Mrs. Bennet, Elizabeth's mom, because it mentions in the beginning that the whole zombie situation had been going on since she was a little girl or a teenager. So that could have been cool, but since it was just the same exact story, I feel like the more I read it, the more bored I got. As compared to when I first read Pride and Prejudice, the more I read it, the more invested I was, the more interested. Yeah. What I gave this book a rating of was 3 out of 5 stars. I don't know if I would read it again. Maybe one day. I think I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep this book for a while. Maybe one day I'll want to go back to it. I really did love the illustrations though. They are very cool. Yeah, I don't know. Are these too gruesome to show? Let me see if there's one I could show you guys. Okay, this one's not so crazy. So, I hope you can see that. But it looks very cool. Yeah. I believe this is when Mr. Darcy asked Elizabeth for the first time, like proposes to her, and she's like, where is this coming from? Yeah. But this very much was more of a parody, if anything is obvious, since like the first few pages. And I mean, I respect it for that. It was enjoyable. It was. Let's see. I'm gonna see some of my notes right now. Yeah, I put, it was a nice concept, but not executed as well as I had hoped. And that's why I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars when I first read it. Let's see if there's any quotes or anything that I wrote down here. Yeah, like it says right here, talking about Charlotte. She talks about wanting to be happy for a few months and have a husband who can give her a proper burial. Feel like this gave her a more urgent reason to accept Mr. Collins than in the original. I don't know if in the book it made it seem that urgent. I don't know, in the book it kind of seemed like it just happened, and in the movie it did seem more urgent. The movie of Pride and Prejudice. I have not seen the movie of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, but if I do see it before I put up this video, I will insert a clip of my thoughts about it. I put, Elizabeth is crazy. The ninja scene had me shook. Lady Catherine started insulting Elizabeth's training because she had no ninjas in the household and learned from China instead of Japan. Elizabeth participates in a contest against Lady Catherine's ninjas in front of the whole party. She blindfolds herself, kills all 3 ninjas, chokes one of them with their own intestines. The moment Elizabeth went a bit too far is when she takes a bite of the 3rd ninja's heart. I thought that was unnecessary. I put unnecessary Elizabeth. Then she says Japanese hearts are the best she has ever tasted. This whole scene was wild and definitely memorable. Yeah. And also I felt weird about her having to say that Japanese hearts tasted like the best. I'm like, okay, Elizabeth. A little weird. Like, kind of seemed a little like fetishization or something. I don't know. I don't know if I was reading too much into that, but it left me with a weird feeling. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I put, Lady Catherine's insults towards Elizabeth feel more frequent in this book. Kind of like it. I probably liked it because of the drama. Pretty sure. I would recommend reading this if you really want to after giving it a while from reading like Pride and Prejudice, the original one. I would say do not read it back to back. At least I didn't love it that way. But it definitely has its funny moments, and like I said, the action scenes are very cool. Because you can see it in your mind. Some parts are like hard to read. But pretty cool book. 3 out of 5 stars.